Hey, what's going on, everyone? I just want to give you guys a quick market update checkup here. We are breaking out of some of the levels that we mentioned today on the live stream. So hopefully you guys caught the live stream, and hopefully you guys have been following me, because I think we were one of the very few people that were actually bullish today on this Black Monday, this turmoil in the market day. The biggest crash that they were calling in history, which we did have a pretty decent crash over the past, 48 hours and through the weekend on crypto. But we opened up really, really bullish today in the cryptocurrency markets on this Black Monday. So what we want to cover is just a couple different coins. We're going to cover the trades, and then we want to just give you guys basically the market pulse for what is happening right now live, while Bitcoin is sitting at very key support levels and a possible bounce zone, which we bounced off at the key support level, which is very close to the level that we called here on the Coinbase chart. And then you can see here that we're actually bouncing and testing and retesting this high that we just hit on the market open at 81,100. Now we're going to go into the trades that we're in. We're in a few different trades. We're in a Sol trade, Solana trade, we're in a Bitcoin trade, we're in a SUI trade, and a ticker Bitcoin trade, because we love the ticker. And so we're going to break down Sol right here. So I think what's happening is that finally that we notice some things on the daily chart. So if we go in and zoom in on the daily chart here, there are a couple of key places where Solana had wicked down on the day. So we have March 5th, 2024, where Solana hit a big capitulation point here and bounced strong. And from that bounce, which is actually basically the price range that we're sitting at currently, you can see that we actually went to one of the higher highs here for Solana at $208, peaking right here, made a double top, and then eventually went back into this really key range that we have marked in this purple box, where this is a great support bounce range as well. And the fact that we're below it and in this range right here, we've done this 1, 2, 3, 4 different times now. And now that we've actually went below and we've hit this range and gotten as low as where we were in the beginning of February in 2024, I think Solana, from this point, if Bitcoin can hold these levels and continue the bullish trend from this key support level, where we can make the case for getting back up to the 200-day moving average. And then also, once we break the 200-day moving average, then we can get back up into the 90K ranges of Bitcoin. So that is for Solana. And then I think SUI has been one of those coins that whenever we get a Bitcoin breakout, then SUI has been trading really strong. I've seen a lot of the big traders, the high liquidity traders, have really been interested in SUI just for the fact that how strong it was moving even when Bitcoin dominance was really high. Because you can see here from the late point of 2024, whenever we had the Trump pump, this thing just took off. I mean, it just took off. It almost broke $6, and you can see here from this low in, this was like this was around, let's see, July or August right here, going into September, October, kind of bottomed out at 53, and then this thing 53 cents, and it just started to go. But right here we have some really key support from the previous bounce zone, which was at like $1.71. So then going from here, if Bitcoin continues the bounce here, then we can see a really clean break going up and testing into the point of control here at $3 for SUI. All right, so that's for SUI and Solana. And then for the trade setup for Bitcoin, we got a really nice entry at basically an average entry price of 77.5. Because it wicked so fast, you can see here on the daily, sometimes it's hard unless you have limit orders already set and you were thinking, okay, look at how the market really respects these previous levels. You can see this wick right here. If we go in and zoom in, look at this. You can see this is the exact point where Bitcoin just bounced off of this wick on the daily. Like right here at this wick. And if we look at this, this was November 7th, 2024, kind of right before we got into, you know, the election pump here. So this is pretty substantial where we're sitting at current levels. So this is why these levels are so key, because they're revealing where we had strong previous support. And what's so interesting is that even though we had this Black Monday today in the stock market, the cryptocurrency markets opened up extremely bullish. And so I tried to contrary trade today on that particular setup, and I just went long. I said, I'm just going to go long. I feel like there's so much, there's like red. I see red everywhere. Everyone's thumbnails are with their hands on their heads and their mouths open and all that stuff. And I said, you know what? I'm going long. And so it was a good decision, and we don't regret it, but we're still going to keep neutrally optimistic. Like we said, we're not going to be overly bullish or overly bearish, but we're going to just try and practice good risk management and take some profits on the way. But all right, that's the quick market pulse, and to give you guys some ideas of what is happening currently and also why these things are happening. I think that what is my best guess is that there is a lot of liquidity that is now thinking that the stock market, the stock market got hit so bad. But we've seen historically that every time we've had these emergency meetings with the feds, or the feds have had to cut the rates, or we've had to have something happen, and then the stock market has historically before in different cycles has recovered after that and then recovered 25%, 30%. And so now that Bitcoin has been in a few of those cycles where we've had the rate cuts, and then the cryptocurrency markets end up becoming a place where liquidity flows. And we're seeing this right now as liquidity is starting to flow into Bitcoin. It's flowing into gold. It's flowing into, we want to look at gold on the weekly here, and you look at gold on the weekly and you can see that, gold is still trending up into breaking into $3,400 an ounce. And then also to check out silver, because silver is lagging behind gold. Silver is also eyeing its previous high at $49 an ounce, and also getting up to about 60. So it's looking like these safe havens are going out of the dollar. The dollar's losing strength. We want the dollar to actually lose strength. And then once that starts to trend down, we'll see all of these things start to come into play with the Bitcoin parabola banana zone, which on the Binance chart we've showed you is it could get anywhere between $200,000 per Bitcoin and $500,000 per Bitcoin on the logged scale here. If you want to look at the log scale, you can see from the previous cycles on the post-halving years, this is the measured move. We just kind of measured the same kind of box right in this area. So we still have some room to grow. And total cryptocurrency market cap is at 2.4 trillion, and it is expected by the end of the year to be at anywhere between 15 to 20 trillion dollars because of the stable coins. So this is going to be really, really interesting to see how this all plays out. And I'm really excited, and I hope you guys just stick with it, stick with the plan, stick with the strategy, and you will do really well. All right. Catch you later. Peace.